doing?
Good, how are you?
Living the dream, you know. Me and I think Kendra, one of the residents. So, yeah. Cool.
This way, everybody. Shift this way a little bit.
You can. Thank you for the space.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure it's right side up. There you go. Come forward just a little bit. Awesome. Looks good.
I have been trying to call her and texting her and saying, we need you. Yeah, saying we need you to speak.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Josette.
I'll try, I might try.
Actually, if you try that. Okay.
All right.
Wait, everybody is here now.
I think everybody's back here that wants to be back here at this point, yeah. Gosh, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Are they in front?
We're just gonna wait for that to go by and then we'll...
A town hall last night.
Yeah.
We rocked. We've got video. Yeah. We've got audio that we're going to be getting out of the news. So I can pick up the sound.
Yeah. it's the longest train known to man. Our press conference today is sponsored by Maersk and Yang Ming. Great Northern, BNSF. I want to thank their participation here.
Real quick, there's another one right behind you.
There's another one right behind it, that's right. Well, hey everybody, thank you so much for being here today. Obviously everybody is here because we know what we're going to be talking about. My name is Jonathan Bingle. I do not represent this area. I represent Spokane's best district, which is why they call it District Number 1. But that's in the Northeast. But I'm here today because, a lot of people reached out to me and said, Jonathan, can somebody please help us elevate our voice? And so I'm here today to help elevate the voices of the people you see behind me and the people who live in the neighborhood who feel like their voices aren't being heard. One of the problems I think we have in our community right now is we have a real break in the trust between homeless service providers and the community in and of itself. So lots of things that the community is told is that, these things that we're doing, these are best practices. These are things we're seeing around the country. These are things that need to be done. And that's the same story that's been pitched to the residents and to the neighbors of Spokane for as long as I can remember. The situation at 2nd and Division, right? At one point that was considered best practice, and we see how that's worked out. And now we have a lot of neighbors in the West Hills area who feel as if the West Hills neighborhood has become an area where it just becomes a dumping ground for facilities that are really affecting the neighborhood. And I think that's a big problem. For me, I have a neighborhood in the area that I represent, Chief Gary Park, that has, for the 6,000 people that are there, they've already got 5 homeless service providers there. And the city almost put one more, and we were able to stop it. And so I'm here today to hopefully find a way, if there's a way, that West Hills can stop having so many homeless service providers dropped into their neighborhood as well, because I think it matters. When we talk about fairness, when we talk about equality, when we talk about equity, when we talk about these things, it's important that we don't just say words, but that we actually put it into practice. And that's not things that I see around the city right now, which is, again, why I'm here. We need, if the scattered site model is going to be what we do going forward, it truly needs to be a scattered site, okay? West Hills, do we feel like it's scattered site right now? No! Okay, that's right. What it feels like, is that there are a few neighborhoods that have them all dropped into their neighborhood. And I don't think it's a nefarious purpose. I think many people are trying to do good by folks who are struggling. But the problem is that what ends up happening is that neighborhoods like this don't see the investment that they want to see. They continue to see investments in these kinds of facilities, and what ends up happening is those neighborhoods continue to have lower property values, and they just continue to get bought up by nonprofits who then continue to put more facilities like this in it, and it's a real problem. One of the things that we are realizing now, or at least I am realizing, and I think many of my friends here are also realizing, is that housing first has failed because it's become housing only. Okay? We know that we need serious investment in mental health and addiction treatment centers. Right. Absolutely. Yep. And those are things that we should be spending our money on. And I don't see us doing that as a city. And the problem is that we actually have the funding. We don't need to raise taxes. We don't need to do anything other than decide that we're going to apply our dollars in that way. We have the money with a 1590 account that comes in. We get $7 million-ish a year. We can use those monies to bond out against and start building the real infrastructure that the city of Spokane needs. And what we need is we need long-term stay mental health facilities, and we need long-term stay substance use disorder facilities for folks to be able to come in and actually get the help that they need. Right. And so I want to thank you all again for being here. I don't think that the current course that we're on is what is going to be impactful for the city of Spokane. I hope that we decide to go a different direction. We're going to take some questions here in just a minute, but before then, excuse me, we've got a couple residents that may want to say a few words. So Kendra, do you want to go first? Sure. Yeah.
My name's Kendra. I'm a resident here at Ascenda. I've lived here 5 years. It's a sober living community, and I moved here because I thought it was going to be a safe place. everyone here is required to be clean and sober, and it's away from, the downtown homeless population. And well, I'm worried that this Housing First, the tiny homes, is going to turn into Camp Hope, and it's just going to be full of drugs. There's not going to be any accountability, and recovery. It's hard work. It's a daily effort, and just one bad moment could trigger somebody, and if it's just right there. People using drugs or having drugs or able to quickly get drugs. That could be very dangerous, and I know the people that live here have put in a lot of work into their recovery, and it's just backwards that they would want to put it right next to a sober living community.
They deserve to feel safe.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kendra. Now, things that we know about our homeless population based on our point in time count is that we have about 1,800 in the county, and over 700 of those individuals are struggling with serious mental illness or serious substance use disorder. And so when you start talking about it's only 30, don't worry, we're going to be vetting people. At some point, the neighborhoods, based on what has been told to them over the years, just don't believe it anymore. You could be telling me the God's honest truth, but there's that break in trust in the community, and that's something that we really need to be working much harder on, is building that trust with the community. And that's what I would say to our homeless service providers. I hope you continue or start to work with our neighborhoods, work with our neighbors, be building that trust, because it just currently doesn't exist. Whether you think it should or not, it doesn't exist, and that's a huge problem. Now, we've got one more. Josette, did you want to come up and say some words? All right.
Hi everybody, my name is Josette. I've lived in this neighborhood almost 10 years now.
A lot closer to the mic.
I've lived in this neighborhood almost 10 years now. And in December, I was walking to the nearest bus stop to my house. Guess what? It's this bus stop right here at this intersection.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah. I was harassed and threatened by sex traffickers all the way down the Sunset Hill. Almost immediately once I got on the Sunset Hill, all the way down to this intersection here. I'm standing on this intersection alone. There are two adults harassing me, saying they have a proposition for me, and yelling at me. No one was there to help me. And it's very sad that we can't even walk down the streets in our city to go to a bus stop. I got down to the bottom of the hill. I had to stop walking because there's traffic and you can't cross. You have to wait for the cross sign to change. The car came right up to me, this close to me, two adults in the car. They rolled down the window. They were yelling at me. They threatened me. It's so scary. I'm sorry. So they're yelling at me. The driver took their seatbelt off, threatened me, told me they were going to kick my ass, called me a bitch, and told me we're just trying to make her life better. And for some reason, in that moment, they just decided not to continue to get out of the car, and they left the scene. All I have to show for this is a little crime victims pamphlet, and that's it. We're just left to fend for ourselves in this neighborhood, and it needs to stop. You need to invest in our neighborhood instead of being a detractor to it. I have an elementary age son who's over there playing. We have no schools in this neighborhood. We need help, and we just can't live like this anymore. So help us, please.
And lastly, I would like to invite Christine Quinn up, who's going to talk a little bit about Ascenda.
Ascenda's been here over 20 years, and I think everyone in West Hills considers Ascenda a gem in the neighborhood. We love Ascenda, and you're an asset to the neighborhood. We really love you. There are families here. This isn't transitional housing. People come here and they stay here, it's a family. And if you met everyone here, they're incredible people. Pretty much everyone has jobs. Many of the residents here even work for the city. There are kids here. See the playground over there. One of the kids is 12 years old. He's been here since he was an infant. And this is just the most wonderful place for a child. Lisa Sadler is a director, and Lisa is really incredible. And she has created this really beautiful family.
All right. With that being said, if any of the reporters have any questions, I'd happily take a few or turn it over to.
What's the reasoning that you've been given for so many of these services and facilities being located in the same location over and over and over again?
Yeah, the question was, what's the reasoning we've been given for the same facilities or being located in the same position over and over and over? It's who owns the property, right? There's a lot of property owned in this neighborhood by some of the nonprofits, and they're the ones who are building it. So that's it.
With the scattered site model, it seems when a shelter is proposed in a neighborhood, every neighborhood is saying, I don't want it in my neighborhood.
Sure.
How is that supposed to work if it seems everyone wants it somewhere else besides their neighborhood?
Yeah. This is a really great question. So if nobody wants it in their neighborhood, right, then how are you supposed to site facilities like this is sort of the question. Yeah, I mean, it's a really great question. This is where, our regional homeless coalition discussions would have been really valuable here, because there are spaces where we can put facilities like this that aren't necessarily near neighborhoods or in the same neighborhood that they've already been located in. And one of the things that you'll see is the disconnect between which neighborhoods get listened to and which ones don't, okay? So this neighborhood right here, they're going to continue to get more facilities, okay? Neighborhoods in the Northeast are going to continue to get more facilities. You look at, you try to put this by Manitou, not a shot in hell that happens, And that's, I think, the problem that many neighbors are feeling. That's the frustration is, why does my neighborhood not matter the same as others? And so that's why we're here today. Yeah. Yes. Yep. All right, well, with that being said, thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Happy to stay and hang out for a little bit and chat, but save West Hills again. Let's go.
I say to the reporters, you guys need to come out here after about 7 or 8 o'clock at night and watch what we have to see every day. It's not stores, people, there's some that want help, give them help, but most of them don't. And they're encroaching out here, they're on private property, they're getting off, they're everywhere.